Now I know what you're thinking. Why did you buy a union uniform if you're gonna just keep on doing episodes in normal clothing? Well, the answer is I'm boring. And while I'm sure I can make the Civil War interesting, it is a very interesting conflict. I'm not sure I can make stuff like unit sizes or structural command that interesting, or just rambling off numbers about guns. But there's one thing I believe is always interesting: theories of history. Now, when I first say that, people think, oh, like the theory Hitler didn't kill himself, or the Confederacy actually won the Civil War, and they've just been hiding their victory, which is something people actually believe. No. Then they think, oh, like when Napoleon said, history just lies agreed upon, or great man theory. Those are actually both part of what I'm thinking about. There are many different frameworks and ways to look at history, and each one opens us up to a different line of questioning both how we interpret history and historical facts, and also maybe even into some philosophy. I think that's interesting, and I think other people will find that interesting. So, what does it mean? First, three. This is the big three, I guess, or how to do it. How do we talk about history? What does history do for us? History are stories. History is propaganda, or history is strength, or like history is mythology. They're all very similar. Then history is facts. Then we get into other theories, like great man theory, the one everyone loves to complain about. Progress theory. Whig theory. For American audience, which I assume is a majority of the people who watch my series on the American Civil War, think of it like classical liberal theory, very similar. Marxist theory, that's going to be a joy to talk about on the internet. Feminist theory, two in the row that people will just take. Bottom up, yeah, it's the opposite of great man theory. Then I would want to do a video on written by the victor. If you are very interested in that idea, I recommend watching Potential History's video on it, who's a way better historical YouTuber than me, looking at history in the long term, looking at history in the short term, which on like how did we, it's kind of like the story of us. I'm thinking of maybe including that in a different one. Consensus. New Left. I'm also thinking of including that in Marxist theory, depending on how long Marxist theory episode would already be. People's history, which is a little bit like bottom up. World history. Yeah, it's not just a boring class you took in 9th grade. Culture turn. Now we want to look at the histography of the Civil War. Now, I'm going to write and do the first 3 episodes, history stories, history's propaganda, and history's facts. And judging by your guys' reaction, I'll see if I want to continue doing the series. So, I guess comment if I have definitely ruined it by not talking more about the Civil War directly. Though when I talk about these theories, I'll be looking at them through the framework of the Civil War, so I might like explain them using something else like, oh, Marxist theory. I'll first like talk about the patricians and plebeians. Then once we have a basic understanding, I'll talk about it through the framework of the Civil War. And then I'll look at that interpretation of the Civil War. And then I'll conclude about it. So it will still be Civil War content, it's just also other things. So please tell me what you think of this. I already tried to make a video on Marxist theory when I was still doing the in-between between Jews and the Soviet Union and the Civil War, and now we're way more in the Civil War, but if you find this interesting, please let me know. If you hate this idea, please let me know. And I hope you tune in.